Welcome to DU Digimon.
Hello and welcome to DU Digimon and welcome to the final match of Jank Tank 12. We're already here. It's the final match. Do go and watch all of the previous matches as well as the decks overview video if you have not watched those. Spoilers ahead in the next kind of couple of minutes if you haven't, or within the next couple of minutes I should say. If you have not gone and watched those, just go and watch them. Just go. It's fine. If you've got another hour or so on your schedule, maybe just do it. Anyways, like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and press that hype button, I guess. If you please. I'd really appreciate it, as well as going ahead and watching the other Jank Tank episodes if you have not. Anyways, it is our final match, and it is between two decks that are actually both mine because I lent one to the other player here. After defeating Nature Spirits in the first round and then taking on Barbamon in its second round, we have Kentaurosmon being piloted by Will. Then, in the other corner, we have me piloting AguBond. I beat the 4 Great Dragons in my first game, and then Rosemon in the second, and then we move on here, and it's my deck versus my deck. I lent my deck to Will, and he is... is he going to beat me with my own deck? You'll have to watch and find out right now. It is the final of Jank Tank 12, guys. Let's get into it. And here we go. Game 1 of our final match. I think I'm just looking at the timer just to make sure I'm launching everyone's matches at the right time here. And it is going to be now kicking off, and off we go. Kentaurosmon is going to start us off, so Will is going to start us off with the Kyaromon going up into the Kudamon, and then puts his Richard on the table. Then we are going to go Agumon in the back and go into 2 ties in the back, so the BT6 and the BT12, which is going to get our memory gain resource generation off to the races very nicely and very swiftly once we push out next turn. Then Will is going to go to Yellow Scramble and goes into Agumon, so giving us quite a bit of memory here, but that is going to add a security to his hand, which we completely forgot to do before I pushed out. But he does that, and then we're going to go into Greymon, which we're going to get a memory back for. We also gained a memory and a draw when we moved up, and we delete that Agumon. We're going to swing in, hit another Agumon, which is going to get us a draw. We do sometimes want this Greymon to actually just get undeleted, so we can hatch in the back, get some more momentum going, or play out more stuff. But this time around, he survived. We're then going to play out another BT6 tie. A BT6 tie is so underrated. Just anything involving gaining memory and a draw is always good. We're then going to go into the BT12 Agumon, which is only going to add an EX9 tie and mat, and actually bottom decks the other one, which is kind of a shame because I only run 2. And then go on to Will's turn. So Will goes into the physical training, having pushed out the Kudamon. I'm not too sure why he pushed out the Kudamon here, but he did. It's a thing he did. We're then going to swing on in, and we hit a Yellow Scramble there, which adds to his hand, and then we go up into Alterous mode after this. We swung in with the Agumon and delete that Kudamon. That then allows Will to do the delay of his Yellow Scramble. He's going to put Agumon on the top, and then play out the Kudamon. Does a search, and I believe he adds the Gatomon here. Yep. He adds the Gatomon. So he's now got a level 4 in hand. Then going to draw for turn and hatch in the back. He is then going to use the delay of physical training to go up into Gatomon for free, which is not too shabby at all. Then we're going to play out Gatomon, which gives security stat -1 to both Agumon and Alterous mode, which is kind of a shame. We then have a think about whether or not we need to push up. And I think ultimately we do, because we can still do quite a bit of business here. So we're going to push up. We get the memory and the draw off of the 2 ties, give 1,000 and blocker to the Alterous mode. Then we are going to go into Greymon from EX1, gain a memory from Tai, and then we are going to go into our, I think it's SkullGreymon we go into? Yep, SkullGreymon here. So that's for 3 memory, and we're going to trash a card from our hand. It'll be one of our Agumons, I believe. Trash the ST20 Agumon, delete our Agumon, and then delete the Gatomon. Then we are going to swing with SkullGreymon. We use the EX1 Greymon to play out Tai, which then triggers the Alterous mode and allows us to Digivolve up into a Greymon for free. If, of course, we had one. We did not have one, so we couldn't do the combo. I set that combo up perfectly, and we didn't have the WarGreymon. Gotcha. Anyways, we do check in. We hit Odin's Breath, which, you know, is going to give a sec -1 on the board. We then go to play an Agumon. I accidentally put AguBond on the board, which, you know, definitely was not what I intended to do. And we add Alterous mode and Tai to the hand. So we are very much in control right here. We are uber dominant. Will's then going to go to Agumon in the front there and go to Koromon in the back. And then he's going to... I think he just goes into MetalGreymon here, because I think he just needs to get that sec -2 on the board here. Or does he? Kentaurosmon. He goes into Kentaurosmon. So that's going to give him basically a pseudo recovery, because he gets to place any yellow card into the security. And the one he picks is Revelation of Light, which is a very nice pick, on account of the fact that that is going to put -5 on my board. But I think ultimately we are still going to end it right here and now. We're on 4 memory. We've got lots of going on, so why not? We go to Agumon in the back. We are then going to use our BT6 Tai Trash Tool to warp up into AguBond, because we can Digivolve ignoring level, and because we can Digivolve for 3 on top of a red, if we're ignoring level, we can Digivolve on top of Agumon. So we then delete the Kentaurosmon. We're then going to swing in with SkullGreymon, hit into Revelation of Light. Does put -5 on our board. We're then going to swing with Agumon, trash the security, and that is a win for us in game 1. Super quick. Then we're going to go into game 2, and we are going to start off with Will again. He's going to go into the Kyaromon and go into Patamon, and then he does a crazy thing here. He just hard plays another Patamon. So if he can, you know, fandangle it next turn, he's going to gain a lot of memory. We leave him on 1 because we think to ourselves, okay, if he does fandangle it, he's going to gain a lot, so I need to give him as little as possible. He then Digivolves into Gatomon in the security. Then, due to timing, he's going to place Gatomon in the bottom of the security as the other Patamon triggers at the same timing, and recognizes that Gatomon, and then gains 2 memory from the 2 Patamons, gains a memory from the Gatomon, going all the way up to 4 memory. Crazy. This takes me back to Yellow Vaccine days, where you know, you had yellow armor about, and it was just nuts for that format because it just did stuff like this. And it's still kind of good now, not gonna lie. Then he goes into Yellow Scrambler, goes into the Kyaromon, but again, I think chooses not to use the effect of it, which was a trend he did from match 1 actually. Then swings in with the Gatomon, which has Barrier, so he has to trash here, and then swings in with the Kyaromon, and we get Scramble added to our hand. We have 2 memory remaining on Will's turn. He just goes into Richard, puts his Richard on the table, and then goes into, well, passes to us. We are then going to have a think on what to do, because we are kind of in a bad way. You know, we're not quite dead on board, but we're getting close to that. But we do still do the safe option. We put Agumon out just to get a search. We're only going to be able to add 1 thing here, so it's Greymon or WarGreymon, and we choose the Greymon because that can just, you know, delete a body off the board. WarGreymon technically could do the same, but with the potential of Barrier being a thing, we might not get the piercing, so I thought the Greymon would be the better pick. Plus, it's well, both of them are technically also targets for AguBond potentially. But Will goes into Salamon in the back, so he's got that set up for next turn to add a security to his hand, or potentially put a security back in if he's low enough. He's then going to play out Agumon Ace, which is going to delete our Agumon with the -6000 DP, trashes the security, and then recovers. Then gains memory from the Gatomon and Patamons, passes them back to himself, swings in with both of those, so that is pretty darn nice for him. Then he's going to go into Koromon here, do a little search. I also think I'm pretty sure he barriered there. I can't quite tell if he removed the security there, so I may have left it at 4. It might actually be at 3. But he's got a super wide board here. So what are we going to do? And actually, I completely misplay here. So in my hand, I've got BT21 Greymon. And what I probably could have done here is played that out, forced him to attack with one of his dudes, and just blown up his entire board. But instead, what I do is I go to search with this Agumon, so I've got another Agumon out, and then I just play another Agumon, because I think to myself, okay, 3 targets, he can't get through 3 targets, surely. But I had this BT21 Greymon in my hand, and if I just played that out, could have forced that Kudamon to attack in. No when attackings would have been triggered. And I would have blown up literally everything. Because 7k, 4k, 1k, 1k, that's less than 14. So we would have blown up the entire board if he had attacked in, but we just did not see the play until too late. We'd already committed to the board, and I'm literally sat there just thinking about, oh god, why didn't I do that? The whole reason I play that Greymon is to taunt them and do these sorts of big blow up the board things when they're not suspecting it. But instead, we give Will the freedom to just play his turn, clear all of our stuff, and that game does go to him. So annoying that misplay cost me that game. But we go into game 3, so we need to try and redeem ourselves at this point. And it's not a good starting point because we don't have a rookie. We just play out Tai. Will goes onto his turn. He can play Salamon, goes into Repamon, goes up onto Agumon. Like, we don't even have a rookie out in the back, and he's already got a level 5 in the back. We then go into Garnet. We've added a rookie's hand, so that's good at least. Goes into Kentaurosmon. Passes turn. Does actually Digivolve only for 3 here because Agumon is of course a CS trait. We then go to Agumon in the back on our turn. Finally got our rookie on the go, and that will help us, but it's not necessarily going to help us enough. But I think to myself, right, okay, I need to try and set something up. He's got no DP minuses underneath him other than the Repamon and the Salamon. So if I play this out, this is bigger than that. So I got rid of the Garnet, left him on 1, got my Greymon out. And that does set us up for a later play, which I think comes up. He goes into the Kentaurosmon, he trashes Richard and puts his Richard on the table, smacks into Greymon, and then swings again, smacking into Agumon. And then goes into the Kudamon. So we are definitely down in terms of security. He has to be Tamamon and Richard to the hand, and then we get to push out with our Agumon, get a memory and draw off of the BT6 Tai, and go up into Greymon, delete Kudamon. We are then going to think, do we go Alterous mode here? I think we possibly go into Alterous mode here. We swing first with Greymon, hit in, get a draw from Koromon. Then we are going to have a little gander on what we're doing. A little think. Do I go into Alterous mode here? Yes, I do go into Alterous mode. Yeah. I did set up the play. Yeah, well done, past me. Well done, past me. You set up the play. We go into Alterous mode. We don't delete anything, but we swing in. We get to play out a Tai. That then triggers Alterous mode to go up into WarGreymon. Now, unfortunately, this WarGreymon cannot use its when attacking effect for timing, so we do just swing in security. However, we can then force him to attack with that Kentaurosmon with Greymon. Now, I actually think what I should have done here is I thought, oh yeah, no, I'm learning from my mistake. I'll force him to attack him with this Greymon. I should have just Digivolved into AguBond. I should have just deleted that Kentaurosmon outright, because I completely forgot about the when attackings of this guy, the DP minuses. So Will is actually going to play around this setup. Yes, he's being forced to attack in, but he's going to swing in with Alliance. So he's got 13k. Minuses down the WarGreymon just enough so that he can't get deleted by the AguBond and is bigger than us if we so chose to ace. And we can't ace on top of Greymon because of the fact although it's Agumon in name, we don't have enough security to do that. Or rather, we've got too much security. So he completely plays around what we were doing. Like, I should have just played, God, I hate things like this. Just where you watch something back and you just have these mistakes. I literally said it in the first match. Like, I was sat there, saying, oh, this was the ideal play for AJ and stuff like that. And now I'm sat here watching myself, telling myself retrospectively, that was the ideal play. You dumbass. But we play out Tai. We've got this Greymon out, thanks to the on deletions of the ties there. Or the Greymon, sorry. He then goes to Repamon, trashes the top, -6 on Greymon, so that is now gone. So we are really in a bad way. Like, yes, he's got 1 security remaining, but we've no Digimon on the board, nothing in the back. We've just got 3 ties from BT6. He then goes into Kyaromon. Again, I don't think does the when Digivolving effect. Like, he just didn't. I don't know if he was not aware of it. I don't know if he was just choosing not to. I assume the latter because Will is a very competent player. We then go Koromon. I'll go in the back on our turn. We just slam down AguBond. I learned from Dan in my last match, sometimes just slam down the big ace. Deletes the Kentaurosmon, so that is something. But he's going to gain a bunch of memory here from the Richard, so he's currently on 7, which is kind of tough for us to deal with. But with the Agumon in the back, we're hoping that we can just pull through. You know, right now he doesn't have the ability to swing 3 times, so we are kind of somewhat in the clear. We might be able to turn this around. He's then having a look through his hand to kind of figure out the best plan here. You know, because yes, the AguBond is not really blocking or doing anything like that, but he needs to think, because he can't kill us now, so he's trying to think how can he bolster himself for further turns, essentially, knowing that the potential for, you know, my board to get kind of reset again is very much potentially going to be on the horizon. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I really should drink more water before I do these. But I also feel like having a drink mid-recording session probably isn't a good shout. Also, you can tell that I'm just... there's so much deliberation going on. That I'm talking about just random shit now. How's your day? Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay where you are? I hope you are. You know, obviously if you're not, then tell someone. But I hope you guys are okay. And are just having a good time enjoying this match and enjoying me rambling on in this segment where there's just nothing going on despite the fact it's all sped up. Maybe I should have edited this bit out. Maybe I will edit this bit out. Maybe it's funnier to leave this bit in where I'm just kind of rambling on and, you know, seeing how things are. We're still deliberating here. God, was this really this long? Like, this would have been longer IRL. Like, fucking hell. Like, Will, do something. Will. He's doing maths. Okay, he's doing maths. He's calculating things. But to be fair, saying that, I'm saying this is like one of his first times playing the deck, and he managed to get to the finals here. So I cannot rip on him for not knowing what to do here, because it's quite a tricky situation. He does now finally go into Metamamon though. He's going to trash something from his security. That puts security attack -2 on my entire board. Plays out the Repamon, puts a -3 onto AguBond, and the trash was actually on Kyaromon, so that is going to die. Actually, no, I think it's the -6 from the Repamon. Did he hard play Repamon? No, he hard played Repamon. Sorry, hard played Repamon. Did the trash from that to do -6, and then trash from Kyaromon to do a -8. So AguBond does get dealt with. Sorry, it doesn't have Rush currently. Metamamon didn't play it out. He hard played that. Sorry. This is where I need to get better with my commentary skills, because if I ever decide to like apply for one of those Bandai casting tournament things, which I would love to do, I need to work on knowing what cards do, man. I hope you guys like my commentary style. I'm kind of a mix of professional and not. Speaking of professional and not, he goes to Gatomon here on top of Repamon, and that is an illegal move. You can't do that. So just to put it out there, I did pop it up on screen as an illegal move when it happened. But yeah, you can't put a level 4 on top of a level 4, Will. Even in a deck you don't know very well, that you've not played that much, you can't do that. So I will be letting you know that when I next see you. But he then plays Odin's Breath, which is going to give me 5, but does put security attack -1 on my board. So I cannot, you know, he's got security attack -3 on my board currently. So even if I deal with a Metamamon, I've still got that minus to worry about. We do push out Agumon though, which gives us 3 memory and 3 draws from our BT6 ties, which is very nice. Power creep, you know, can be damned. BT6 tie is still OP. We go into Greymon, delete the illegal Gatomon, which even if it was a level 5, we probably could have dealt with. We then go to Agumon, we do our search. We are going to add, I think, do we add Greymon or do we add WarGreymon here? It's one or the other. I get asked time on the round, so I'm just letting everyone know that. And then we add WarGreymon. Yeah, that's the right play to do. So we add WarGreymon to hand. We're then going to Digivolve into WarGreymon because it Digivolves on top of an Agumon, so that includes our Greymon. Swing into the Metamamon and delete it. You know, we absolutely go to town on that. And then we just play out another Agumon to go super wide. He then gains 2 memory at the start of main after moving up Kudamon from the Raising, and is just having a check on what we're looking to do in terms of the WarGreymon here and in terms of like the DP. Like right now we've got 3 targets for AguBond potentially, so if he does swing in we can blow up his board. That we're not going to get any surprise DP minus clearances this time, we hope. He's then going to go to Gatomon, put security attack -1 onto both of the... that's what he was checking. He was checking the security attack +1 when attacking effect of the WarGreymon, because he then goes into a second Gatomon. So we've now got security attack -1 on both of our Agumons and security attack -2 on the WarGreymon. So again, he's just stalled us out to stop us from getting turned. He then goes into Kudamon and adds the Patamon to hand, and we then hatch our Koromon. We have got all of our dudes on the board, but none of them can swing for game, which is so frustrating. We then walk into Bond of Bravery, delete his whole board, and pass him on 1. We could have gained another memory here because we've got a Greymon on board, but I chose not to, so that he would have as little memory as possible. He's going to go up to 3 because of these 2 Richards, so I just thought that would be the best thing to do. He then slams down in Mitamamon, which basically is saying, I'm banking on the fact that either this doesn't die or you don't have a bond, and I do have another bond. Delete that, swing for game, and that is it. Jank Tank 12 is over. AguBond is your new champion. I am your new champion. Bow to me. I'm joking, of course. I was very lucky to have won this tournament. I did come in with probably one of the best Jank decks I've ever built, but I also played terribly at times. You saw in that match just then, I made poor decisions that cost me game 2. I dropped a game to 4 Great Dragons against Alex, which was crazy. He managed to do some unsuspension, and again, I just completely underestimated how he played. By all accounts, as a player, I maybe should not have won this tournament because I just made so many mistakes, but I still managed it. I clawed things back. I made my kind of adjustments during the games, and that's it at the end of the day. If you make mistakes, just make adjustments and go from there. Don't try not to make the same mistakes too many times. So AguBond now, because it has won, is now banned from Jank Tank until the Champions Tournament later this year, and joins the current champion pantheon of Nightmare Soldiers, Gankumon Rush, Rapidmon, DM Justimon, and then of course AguBond itself is part of that pantheon now. We're going to have one more Jank Tank before the Champions Tourney. We're aiming to do the Champions Tourney sometime in December, so our last Jank Tank is going to be on the 19th of November down at Dead Universe Comics. If you can, at the moment that is the date anyway. It could change. Feel free to ask in the Discord if you are interested in coming. That would be awesome if we could get more people coming down to it. Obviously, we are a little ways away, so if not, then don't worry about it. It's cool. But yeah, AguBond is your new champion. How do you feel about AguBond being the new champion? One of the things with the kind of the build itself is a lot of the guys were saying, oh, this is just Greymon Toolbox. It's not, in my opinion. Is it in yours? I would be very interested to find out that opinion, especially on the deck profile we'll be doing tomorrow, because of course we do a follow-up to these Jank Tanks with a deck profile of the winning deck every single time, so we will be doing that for you guys tomorrow. So do stay tuned for the full-on deck profile of my current build for AguBond. It's nuts. I friggin' love this deck. It's one of my favourite decks I've built ever of all time. Like, subscribe, ding that notification bell. I hope you guys really enjoyed Jank Tank 12, and do stay tuned for Jank Tank 13 coming to you guys sometime in November. And just stay tuned for other content as well. Like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, press the shit out of that hype button, and we will see you again on the next video, which of course will be the deck profile for AguBond, because I won. See you on the next video, guys. Keep it digital.